Aaron Daddy, he released a video today, and I wanted to cover it because I like it. There's going to be a few things that we're going to cover a lot more in depth, but just hang out.
If you feel them pulling away or pushing away, and what you naturally do is you lean in or you try to get them to come back to you, that energy is what is actually propelling them to do it quicker. It is repelling them from you. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what to do if they're pulling away from you so that you can maintain in your own energy, you don't feel dependent on them, and how that also signifies more attraction than you can possibly imagine. Now, first off, I understand. I get it. If someone pulls away or if someone's walking away, there's a natural inclination to chase them. In my own life, I've had to learn this the hard way. The hard way was they walk away, they don't choose you, and you then decide there's something wrong with me. I must lean in. I must get them to understand my sense of self-worth. I must show them how worthy I am. I must show them that if I fix them, no one else will do that, and I will then be indispensable. That's the belief.
It's okay. So this is probably the most common thing that happens in coaching. When I'm doing coaching with people, they're constantly trying to fix, right? So they end up chasing. So what this right here says is apathy, grief, fear, lust, anger, pride, okay, and then dash, and then courage, acceptance, and peace. It's actually should be reversed. I should have apathy at the bottom because the bottom ones are actually good emotions and good experiences. Courage is what we're trying to get back to. Every single time somebody's going through a breakup, they're experiencing these emotions right here. So a lot of people are dealing with grief because they're like, oh man, you're grieving the breakup. You're upset that the breakup is over. So that's an obvious one, right? So that's a big one. Anger is a big one. Lust is a big one. Okay. And obviously fear they won't come back. Apathy, pretty much all of these, right? So, but the biggest ones I see, I'd have to say fear, lust, because you're lusting after them, you desire them, and of course apathy, right? Anger sort of happens a little bit later in the breakup phase. We chase after them, so this is obviously not the most ideal thing to do, and when we chase their energy, they're going to be turned off by us because they just left us. So what is attractive about people who chase? Nothing, right? And I don't mean in the intersexual dynamic part where feminine energy wants to be around masculine energy. There's nothing wrong with that. Feminine energy is about bonding and connecting and wanting to be close, okay? But when the masculine energy wants to, be by itself, right? Chasing goals, right? Determined, ambitious, motivated. That actually turns women on. So when a girl or when a woman breaks up with a man, she wants him subconsciously to be masculine, okay? And what a masculine man after a breakup is going to do is he's going to, first of all, anybody who respects themselves and respects their own boundaries, they're going to, you let go because you value your peace. Why chase after somebody who doesn't want to be around you? Yes, and again, you're dealing with these, right? The apathy, grief, fear, lust, anger, and pride, but look where peace is, right? So, when a man knows his value, okay? When a man knows his value, you don't chase somebody that doesn't want you in your life. But this is exactly the opposite of what people do. People constantly chase, they pursue, they're trying to satisfy that ego, okay? And this work is so simple. The whole letting go process is so simple that it's almost too simple. It's almost too simple for the ego or for you, right? The ego doesn't really want to accept, right? Because it's so simple, the whole letting go process. So basically facing your fears and facing what you've been feeling and facing what's been going on in your life and saying, look, this doesn't control me. This doesn't affect me. This is something I'm going to let go of. Can you let it go? Will you let it go? Okay. And a lot of people are trying so hard to avoid, right? Avoid their emotions. I know this looks like crap, but I'm trying to go fast, right? So they want to avoid their emotions. So what they end up doing is they suppress and repress. And people do this throughout their life. So whenever they have, say there's a story, right? Abandonment, for example. Say there's some sort of abandonment issue going on. The deep issue is obviously abandonment, but every relationship they get into, because they're dealing with that issue, they are never going to fully express themselves the way that they should. They're afraid of feeling that way again. So when I say afraid, right, we have to go back to fear. And so on a general level, not even because of your breakup, but on a general level, because of the programs going on inside your brain, you are experiencing fear. So when you get into a relationship, some people are so afraid to even get close to another person, right? So they don't even want to get close to another person. They don't want to, give to another person. And a relationship is about giving. So how are you supposed to give when you're experiencing a whole ton of fear? This goes with business as well. Okay. Because if you have a business, right, if I'm trying to run ads for a company or something like that, if you don't know how, right, you have to give things away. You have to give your services away for free and, learn from the process and learn actually how to craft a really great offer. A relationship is sort of the same way, but a lot of people don't work on themselves. A lot of people sort of stay in this limbo phase or they stay numb. Okay, so what we're trying to do, what the end goal is to get back into courage. Okay, so later on in the video, after Aaron's done talking, I'm going to talk a little bit more about courage.
But what that actually does is it actually pushes them away even more. Why? Because of this simple energy dynamic. All right, people feel what you feel, and when you think of someone, even though you may not physically be around them, you may feel this person pulling away from you from 40 miles away. Energetically, they're not responding to your text message.
Right.
They're not getting back as quickly as they used to. And you may then say, you may be thinking about them. Why are they doing that? Why are they being that way? Why don't they understand how worthy I am or how valuable I am, or why aren't they thinking about me?
So let me talk about that real quick, okay? I know there's been a big pause because you probably want to watch the video, but let's talk about this because this is important. This comes up all the time in my coaching. She or he might get some more people that are girls watching me after this, but she comes back or he comes back when I don't care, or when I move on. Okay, she or he comes back when I don't care or when I move on. So why is this? So that's what Aaron's talking about, okay? Whenever you have, and this is why, after like 4 months, 6 months, 8 months, I've been watching this happen for the last 4 years, and I needed to do it that long just to see what people do, right? And when this happens, okay, they come back when you don't care, when I don't care, move on. They do this because, again, he's talking about energy, right? When you stop thinking about them, you stop wanting them so much, they come back, they want to come back around you because you are not shooting your, and imagine if it's like an exchange, right? So here's you and here's them, and they broke up with you, so they're just looking this way, living life, whatever, and you're looking this way. You're trying to get them to pay attention to you. So you're just constantly shooting out your energy towards these people, towards your ex, towards them. And as you do this, they are constantly going to be moving further and further away from you. This is why no contact is one of the most important things to do in the beginning. Okay. And a lot of you guys assume no contact is going to work, but what a lot of you guys do is you still do this because you're like, I'm going to do no contact so that they pay attention to me. So you're still doing this, even though you're like, oh man, I'm going to do no contact so that she does reach out to me. So, but when you actually truly pull your energy back, right? You have, let's say your goals, and you got to look, let's say, you got to look this way, right? So you have your goals here. So goals, aspirations, friends, whatever, right? And you're looking at them and you're looking at them. Okay. So you're focused on yourself. So when you focus on yourself, that's when they are going to go, haven't heard from you in a while. What have you been up to? That's why. So as soon as you start pulling your energy back from them, as soon as you start doing that, that's when they're going to be like, oh shit, what have you been up to? So then they're going to be like, dude, what's up? And then this is when you don't care, right? So again, people, first of all, take a lot of time to change, but second of all, it takes them time to, it's kind of like a residue. Imagine if it's sort of like a residue energy. Okay. So it takes them a little while to actually feel, Okay, because of residue energy, because you were just thinking about them for so long. And here's the thing about that too. Negative energy is why the relationship ended. Too much of it, right? So it takes them a while to see what was important about you and what was important about the relationship.
And then you start sending them energy. So energetically, you're then sending them energy. And then they feel that, and they feel kind of suffocated. And they feel suffocated, so then they want more space. And then they want more space, so what do you do again? You double down again. Let me get even energetically closer. Let me call them 3 more times. Let me respond to even more texts. Let me do all of this. And then what happens is they feel uncomfortable. Like, imagine I'm right here the whole time. We're doing this video. I'm pretty close. You might be feeling like, dude, just back up a little bit.
Right.
And if I were to back up a little bit like this and do the video like this, you might be like, Aaron, come a little bit closer. I want you a little bit closer. Or maybe not, and I just make the video from this part of the frame, right? But that's the difference. That's what you're energetically doing when you go and you have somebody that might be pulling away a little bit. When they pull away, they're saying, I want some space.
Right.
That's it. They want some space so that they can be in their own energy, and then they may find that they actually miss you. So many times what I've done is I bring the energy back to myself in past relationships, especially when I was in high school and stuff like that. Bring the energy back to myself, stop focusing on them, and all of a sudden, they come back around. They start realizing that there's more feelings there than they thought. Or they start then realizing, because it also signifies value and self-respect when you put the awareness back in yourself, when you focus on your own life. So energetically, what happens is this. Imagine this. Are you liking this video? Do you like this video? Do you like it? I'm getting so close. Come on, don't you like it? Don't you like? And you're like, dude, just back up, right? And then I back up, and you're like, oh, I have more space now to appreciate you. I'd actually like you to come a little bit more close. And then here I am at a natural balance part of the frame. This is a metaphor for how it works in the dynamic of dating and the dynamic of relationship. Realize the key to a relationship is not codependency. And when you lean in and you're trying to fix and you're trying to get someone else to come around, a lot of times what that actually is at a deeper level too, it's trying to get somebody else to come around so they can see your sense of self-worth. They can validate, they can approve of you, they can see that you're worthy. What ends up happening though is the opposite effect happens. It's the opposite. You think in your mind. The belief is, if I lean in, if I try to control, and they will then come around. It works the opposite. The degree to which you let go is the degree to which you give them space, is the degree to which they are empowered to figure it out themselves. That's when they really come within their own power. So understand that for this process, the key, the mantra that you want to remember is to just let go. If they are pulling away, let them. So
last time I talked about residue energy, but during a breakup, right, when they pull away from you, let me get this in the shot best as I can. There you go. They need to respect you. Okay, I understand this looks like chicken scratch. I apologize. So they need to respect you, okay, in order to want to be with you and love you. They need to respect you. So whenever I'm going through a breakup thing with a guy and we're really working on things, we're really trying to push things forward, we're really trying to work on the issues, be the best version of yourself, right? The one thing that they don't understand about the self-work and the letting go process is one of the most important things that women especially need from a guy. Women need to respect the man that they're with. And when a guy gets needy, okay, guys get needy all the time, and they're trying to again, and this goes hand in hand, they're trying to get external validation. So when men get needy, okay, and then they're trying to seek validation externally instead of being happy inside and just having a great individual life, right? And so we're conditioned to continue to chase. That's what, capitalism and all that, chase, get the next thing, and keeping up. You have to let go of those desires. Now, again, like I said in my last video, you can still have goals, but it's attachment. That's the issue, okay? But attachment because you're seeking something that you do not have. You have a lack in your life. And when your girl breaks up with you or guy breaks up with you, somebody leaves you, doesn't want to be in your life anymore, you're attached to them and you're attached to wanting them in your life. So that's the biggest issue, right? So we have to focus on not seeking validation. Again, let them go. Walk away. No contact. And again, a lot of people do no contact because they want their ex to reach out instead of just doing it for themselves. So a lot of people in the, in dating communities and whatever talk about self-improvement, but they don't really tell you why and why it works on an energetic level. And energy and vibration, again, comes back to this, right? Okay. So guys will be like, I want to be an alpha male. Okay. Dudes who are in that mindset, right? I am strong. I am competent, confident, happy, alpha energy. So they seek sigma energy. They're right here, right? They get dumped. They're like, oh, there's another one. Okay. Now, what a lot of my students and people who are new to this kind of work, they will come and they will be, in these. They're constantly like, well, I want to let go. I can't stop. I want to stop thinking about it. I got to want it, right? And they have all of this anxious, I call it red energy. Okay. And red is not necessarily red is bad. It's just blue energy is a more calm energy, I guess. So it's not that it's bad. They're here all the time. And you need to understand, and your first goal is to get to courage. I know I just pointed to acceptance, but I meant to point to courage. Okay. This is where you want to go. And there are sub energies there. So courage, there are sub energies inside courage. All right. And what I'll do is I'll put them in the description box, what the sub energies to courage are. So I'll highlight them and put them in. But this is what you're trying to get back to. So some examples are able, right? So able, alive. So some of you guys going through breakups feel dead inside, right? You feel sad. You feel completely defeated, broken, okay? Balanced, cheerful. What else? Compassion, competent, right? Let's write that down. Confident, cooperative, creative. See, and a lot of people are like, they want to go in the gym, they want to start businesses, and they want to do all this stuff, but they're in the other more negative emotions. Okay, they're still here. They're doing things because they're still hanging out here, right? They're like, oh man, I got to get in the gym because if she thought that I was sexier, she'll want me back. So again, lusting after her, and then fearful that they're never going to get another girl, or apathetic, right? Let's move this back here because I do that every time. So let's keep on going with the video.
Let them pull away. Once you let them have space, they may then start to realize in their own energy that they have feelings for you, that they come back. And if they don't, guess what? You've saved yourself time. Mm-hmm. Because another aspect of this, if somebody that might click on this video, this might be kind of hard to hear. Somebody that clicked on this video, there could be some people that clicked on this video that are choosing people that aren't choosing them. Let me ask you that. Are you choosing someone that's not choosing you? Because if that's the case, if someone is not choosing you and you are choosing them, could it be that dynamic feels very familiar from childhood? In childhood, did you feel like maybe your parents weren't choosing you? Maybe they had you, and then they weren't emotionally or physically there for you in the way that you needed your needs met. And there's a belief that's created that says, I'm not good enough. People don't choose me. And then it's like, I'm going to fight to be worthy. I'm going to fight to be enough. I'm going to become a perfectionist or whatever.
Exactly.
And then I'm going to prove. I spent a lot of my life, like even on YouTube, like wanting success just to prove to my dad I'm worthy. Just to prove to my dad I'm good enough. Yes, I didn't go down the route of law school or going to college and graduating with some degree. I did it my own way. But look, I'm worthy. I'm successful. Look. When in fact, I could just give myself permission at any moment to feel that worthiness, that self-respect for myself. And the funny thing is that as you give it to yourself, other people feel that off of you. It becomes very magnetic. But understand, there may be a deeper core thing here. And with that, realize if your mom or your dad weren't or wasn't physically or emotionally available when you were a kid, I don't know how to say this, but it wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault they weren't physically or emotionally there. It wasn't because you were inherently not worthy that happened. That happened because they had their own stuff going on. And what you can now do with this energy is you can realize it wasn't your fault. You can realize you have worthy and value for simply being you. You don't need their validation or approval to meet your needs. And you can begin to stop abandoning yourself. A lot of times we're so afraid of other people abandoning us that we're going to fix them, we're going to get them to come around, they're pulling away, we want them to come back. And really, it's just fighting to avoid abandonment, when in fact you've already abandoned yourself. So stop abandoning yourself to get someone else to come around and start instead choosing you. This could mean choosing to walk away. This could mean you choosing your own sense of self-worth, you following your passion, you being in your own energy dynamic. Stop sending them energy. You believe sending them energy, one, is going to get them to come back. If you could just send them enough thoughts and feelings and emotions and they'll eventually come around, it doesn't work that way because you're not giving them space. They're feeling that nerve. They feel what you feel. When you bring the energy back to yourself, it's a healthy dynamic. It's not codependent. And then they can actually have the space to appreciate you. However, that might still not be the answer. Maybe the answer is to completely let it go because you realize they weren't choosing you. And as you start choosing yourself, you're then making space for someone that can actually choose you. You're making space for somebody that will choose you. And as they choose you, guess what happens? It's reaffirming the belief that you choose yourself. You get in life a reflection in your relationship of the energy work you're doing with yourself. So what I highly recommend you do.
Okay. That is probably one of the most important things that you guys really need to grasp. Okay. The outer world, okay? The outer world is a reflection of your inner world. So abundance, and here's the thing, that's where a lot of people that are starting a business or whatever, and they're starting at a certain place, they're not going to feel very abundant yet. Let's move this over here so you guys can see. The outer world is a reflection of your inner world. So you're not going to feel abundant yet, and it's very hard to fake that. So that's why you have to still continue to take action towards your goals. Because when you take action towards your goals, you're going to continue to provide abundance to your life while also helping others and giving. So of course, skill up, right? Skills matter, but then help other people get what they want and you'll get what you want. So in a relationship, right, you're giving yourself, you're giving love, you're giving all that, but you also can't forget about you and working on yourself. Because as soon as you do, and a lot of people do this is when you, as he just said, abandon yourself in a relationship or abandon yourself as a person. And you need to continuously work on yourself.
Is if they're pulling away, let them do it. Give them space. Let them come to their own conclusions. Empower them by letting them go. To come around if they're meant to, and if they're not, it's okay, because there's billions of people out there in the world, and the belief that they're meant for you and they're the only one that can possibly exist is a belief. That's it. It's not true. Mm-hmm. But you let them go, you then are in your own power. You're in your own energy. It's way more magnetic. It's a reflection of self-worth, of self-value. And then as you feel that for yourself, people feel what you feel. So the answer, get into that energy and understand you are enough. You are worthy the way you are. Your parents not being physically or emotionally available when you were a kid, it's not your fault. And just in the same way, if the person detaches from you, it doesn't mean you're not worthy. You don't have to fight for your worthiness. All it means is they need space. Give them space. It does not mean anything to do with your worthiness. And as you let go, you'll find that sometimes things come back around, sometimes they don't. It's okay. This is propelling you to go deeper within yourself, to let go of attachment, to feel safe in your own body, and to understand that as you feel more safe and more self-validated, you walk away, have the power to do so, you are signaling to the universe that you are ready for something that does choose you because you choose yourself. Now, if you want to learn the most powerful technique I've ever found for bringing the energy back to yourself, literally people do this and they claim that it changes the energy dynamics in their life, how people treat them in public. It's called the frame technique. It's one of my most popular techniques I've ever shared. It's right here. Check it out. Watch how much it changes your life. I was hyper attached to what people thought of me. I was very sensitive to other people's energy.
I'll probably check out that video later on. But it was really, really important for me to understand about energy and about letting go. So I'm going to put the courage emotions. I still have to get some more thumbnails, so let's find them. So let's give Aaron a better still. There we go. So again, bringing the whole energy back thing. So that's one of the best things I think I ever learned. And it wasn't even, I read the book, like Sedona Method and letting go and stuff like that. But really it almost at that point, it seemed like, okay, I intellectually understand this, but you have to understand it from here. So as you apply the stuff that you learn from the books, you're going to go, okay, how do I apply this and get it to work here? Okay. And that's one of the hardest things to do. And again, I have a mastermind program and stuff like that you guys can get into. If you're interested in that, let me know. But one of the best things that you can do is understand energy and understanding how to bring your energy back. I'll see you guys in the next video.